things that was shocking that I learned is if the United States wanted to launch a nuclear weapon today, it is one person's decision.
I heard that, and that's what Trump can actually just make that decision.
He can make the decision on his own. He doesn't need to consult Congress or anybody else. He has someone who walks around with a briefcase that has the nuclear codes in. And at any moment, he can make the decisions. Yeah. And when I think about the same in this region, actually, you don't need a whole state to decide that they don't like their neighbor. All you need is one supreme leader, or Netanyahu, to say, do you know what? I'm near the end of my life, and these people have really pissed me off.
Yeah. That's right. And I thought there was at least some control. I saw that segment.
With Annie Jacobsen,
I thought there was at least some control. He had to consult someone. But or they had to have circumstances which justified not consulting someone. If he's got that right, then it comes down to what's the behaviour of the person who carries the nuclear football. Does he let Trump get hold of it? And like there was another incident way back, I think in this 70s or 80s, that the Russian early warning system reported that there was a nuclear attack on the way to Russia, and there was one submarine commander or one element of a submarine command system, and they had to have 3 people in the submarine who agreed to launch an attack, and this particular person refused. Now, if that hadn't happened, if he'd agreed with the other 2, there would have been a nuclear war at that stage. And it wasn't real. It was a false alarm from the system. So even the Russian submarine had 3 people who had to make that decision. So we didn't have a nuclear war. Now we've got one maniac in this White House who could do it.
I'll play Annie Jacobsen's clip now where she talks about the idea of sole authority, which I think is an important thing for people to understand, because when we think about who we're electing to lead our nuclear capable countries, you have to think about who you want to give sole authority to.
The United States president has sole presidential authority to launch a nuclear war.
What does that mean?
It's exactly like it sounds. What's so interesting is a lot of this stuff, this nomenclature that gets thrown at you, if you just break it down, it's solo, presidential, he's the POTUS, authority. He doesn't have to ask anyone for permission. Not the SecDef, not the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, not the Congress. I love the worried look on your face in this moment, because it is, once you know that, you say, well, first you might Google, is it really true? And you will get, for example, on Reddit, like, that's not really true. You'll get like hundreds of thousands of people, coming in with their opinions about how that's not really true. Well, it is really true. It's absolutely true. And in fact, during the former President Trump administration, Congress became so sort of, I want to say motivated